talking about belts and what they can do for an outfit. I have my 17 belts here and I'm just going to go through them with you, and I've broken them into categories. So let's start with the first one. This belt here is fantastic. It is actually a white leather belt, and even though it's a bit hard to see with this dress, it's a fantastic belt because it just is so neutral and so light in colour that it really just pops. And what I really like about it is it's so substantial and it just fills in this space here. To belt or not to belt? That is the question. What a belt can do is it does give you a definition of your waist, which is a positive about it. But what it also does is it gives you a horizontal line, which might not be the look that you're going for. And you have to weigh that up as to whether you want to wear a belt or not. Now with this belt here, I just really like this one. I got it in Suzanne. It's an Australian store, and it is silver metallic and it's leather. I got it cheap as chips. I can't remember how much it was, but it was just a fantastic bargain. And it's actually got holes all the way around, so I can actually fit it to suit me, which is just wonderful. I'm not restricted in any way. So you can see that just by putting this belt on, it has then defined my waist, which is a wonderful thing, but it does actually then create that horizontal line. Now, a good way to figure out whether a belt is going to work for you or not is just take photos of your outfit. Get dressed up, try it with the belt, try it without the belt, and then you actually decide. Because sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment and you're just getting ready, and you quickly look in the mirror, then you think, oh yeah, that looks okay. But I think taking a photo really does then help you to figure out whether it's working or not. Now this is a great belt. I got it in an op shop, and it is a thicker silver metallic belt than the last one. And I really like it because then it just gives me options as to whether I want to go thinner or thicker in my belt. But it gives a very similar aesthetic to the previous one, and then the buckle is just a little bit more defined. Now, when it comes to thickness, once again, this is all dependent on a number of factors. The length of your torso is a big factor. And I actually have a long torso, so I can go a little bit thicker. And I do think that a thicker belt looks better on me, having tried both thin and thick over the years. And this one here is just a little bit of a thicker one, which I really quite like. It's a little bit of a variation of the previous two in that because it's sort of got like this tiger stripe, the pattern, the metallic pattern is a little bit more diffuse, so it's not as obvious. It doesn't cut that horizontal line as much as a definite belt would. Now, when it comes to the material that a belt is made up of, I personally prefer leather because it is actually just so hard wearing and it is durable. It just gives me what I'm looking for in a belt, which means that as I'm wearing it, it's not going to then crease. It is a little bit firmer, but I just accept that if I'm wearing a belt, it is going to be a little bit firmer. This is a fantastic belt. I got it in an op shop, and it is actually from Country Road, and it's a really pale tan, and then it's plaited. I've actually worn this a lot more than I thought I would, and it just goes with so many outfits, such as here it goes with the white. It can also go with a neutral pink. It's just fantastic. So yeah, I think leather belts are the way to go. So this is my most recent belt, and it is from River Island, and it's unusual for me to go for this zebra stripe, but I wouldn't buy anything in an outfit with this pattern. So I just thought, just by having it as the zebra pattern, I just thought that would be really cool. So yeah, leather belts, it really does help to give everything a shape. It's a little bit like a corset almost. Colours of belts is also another factor that you need to consider. I wear a lot of neutral colours, a lot of pale pink, that's sort of like my neutral, a lot of white. So when I saw this belt, I knew that I would be able to use it. And because it is actually just leather, quite thin, it fits all of my other requirements, but it does actually then blend in. And I have actually shown you this belt with my pink jumpsuit, my heather jumpsuit, and it just blends right in. So it actually defines the waist without actually creating that strong horizontal line. So when I saw this color, I just thought that would be really nice because it is actually so neutral. This is another pink belt that I also get a lot of wear out of because it goes with so many of the clothes that I wear. What I really liked about this one is that it does have various shades of pink, and then it's just got the silver sort of studs either side, which makes it just a little bit of fun. So it picks up all of the silver. But this actually does go with a lot of my clothes. And I think that that is half the battle, knowing that it will actually just blend in, and it is something that I will get a lot of wear out of. Do you want to just go with simplicity with a belt, or do you want to make a statement? And this belt here, if I actually wear it with my burgundy skirt where everything else is just blending in, then it is simple. But if I have it as a contrast, say with this dress here, then it is actually making a statement. And this was an amazing find. I think every single one of these belts I got in Shop. I don't think I paid full price for any of them, apart from that Suzanne one. I think that's the only one. So I really look at belts as just a way to experiment and to just dabble into looking at these other ways of putting my outfits together without making a huge investment in it. To be honest, I don't wear these belts all that often, but I just like to know that they're there. So when it comes to a statement, I think this belt definitely makes a statement because it is actually so firm. It's made out of leather. It's quite an unusual colour. So if I was to wear a burgundy outfit, just the colour itself is so unusual, and this would be a part of that. Or if I then want to use it as a contrast. A lot of the times when you buy a dress in particular and it comes with a belt, I actually end up just ditching the belt because I find that it's just not high enough quality. And this belt here was one of those situations. I got a snake print dress and it came with a belt, and I just really didn't like it. And then when I saw this belt, I thought that's perfect. So I did actually then swap my fabric belt with this one, and it really did elevate the outfit. So I would really recommend that you do that. Is all of those little wrap belts that come with dresses, they actually don't do the dress any favors. But when you've actually got something that is really a definite shape, it's firmer fabric, something like leather, and it's got all the hardware in it, it really does provide that statement if the outfit is designed to be worn with a belt. So this one here is from Veronica Main, and I found it in an op shop. It just has so many features that I really like about it. I really liked the snake print pattern because it's just a little bit subtle. It goes in with the silver colouring that I prefer, and it is a firm leather fabric, and it is actually quite wide as well. Sometimes you just need a little bit of bling, and when I saw this, I just thought that is so cool. I really liked how it was just a thin little bit of silver snake that would just go around my waist. It's a very definite size, so I was just fortunate that it was actually my size because it's just got the one clip and it can only be one size. But this would actually just be a great way of having a little bit of colour in the middle of the outfit that matches all of my jewellery, and it's just a little bit of bling, which I just think sometimes we need that in our lives. Some more bling, this time here it's from H&M. When I saw this in the shop, I just thought, yeah, that's it. I am going to get that belt. And it's really just got all these glass beads all the way around it, which just makes it so fun. It doesn't have any holes in it, but because of the way that the beads are, every little bit of vertical line of the beads is really like a placement. So what I really like about it is you can just manage it to suit you, just wherever it is. It is sometimes a little bit hard to keep it in place, but I really do like this belt because of the crystals. It's like sequins. It's just that little bit of shiny bling that just makes an outfit really fun. Now, when I saw this belt, I just thought that is so much fun. I really, really like that. I'm an 80s girl, and so I remember in the 80s, just all those big, wide stretch belts. My sister and I, we used to wear them, and it was all just like corsetry, just used to really help to find the waist. So when I saw this, it just brought back those memories of that flashback of the 80s. But also, I just really liked how it was a little bit funky with the silver and then the safety pins. It's just so much fun, and because it is actually wider here, it just fits me really well because I do prefer the wider belts. So yeah, this is just a fun little belt. At the last category of belts, which is the stretch belts, as I said earlier, I do actually like the whole stretch belt phenomena because it does actually bring back a lot of memories. And I think too, for my particular body shape, it just seems to give me what I want, which is that elusive hourglass shape that I'm always looking for. So I really like this belt here because it is actually neutral, it's tan, and the stretch just makes it so comfortable. I can just fit it to me, and it does actually just pack a punch. A variation on a theme. When I see these belts in an op shop, then I just grab them because I just never know when they're going to work for an outfit. I think they all cost me about $3 or $4, so it was hardly anything, but it just gives me more options. So this would be another neutral stretch belt that I really do like as well. Now this belt here is from Q, and I found it in an op shop. But what I really like about it is it is just so neutral. The colour is just so unoffensive, but it's the structure of it and the texture that just gives it a little bit of depth. I've worn this quite a lot. What I really like about it is that at the front, it does actually have a little bit more. So it just really gives that particular structure, and then at the back, it's got the elastic. So yeah, this is just a really fun belt. I have actually worn it this way coming up, and then I've also worn it this way where it then goes down a little bit. Another gorgeous stretch belt in a neutral colour. Once again, just to give a little bit of depth because of the structure. This is a lot more comfortable than the other ones are. So by having these 4 different types of neutral stretch belts, it just gives me options, and sometimes I do actually stand there and it's very nuanced as to which belt I finally end up selecting, depending on what it actually goes with in the outfit. So this is the way that I fold my belts, by actually having the buckle on the inside and then rolling them in the circle. That way I can actually maximize my space. I can still see each one clearly. So there you go. There are my 17 belts. I would really like to hear from you which one of mine is your favorite and which one of yours is your favorite and why. If you like my content and you want to see more, please like and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next week when we're going to be talking about hats that are classic, elegant, and fun.